Morning, guys. Rick Shaw here on the 13th of February 2022. It's beautiful Sunday morning. We got some of the guys are working here. You can see that there. I guess they want to finish that roof off in case we get some rain. The weather here has been iffy. We had sprinkles yesterday, and who knows? You just don't know how the weather's going to be here right now. But most of the guys are off right now, but Tim sent me something this morning that I thought was kind of interesting. It's in Kazakhstan over there. I guess the people overthrew the government there. Government officials are fleeing for their lives and all this. News media is very silent on it. I've been seeing stuff over there for months and months of how the people are going against the police and the government and all this stuff. And some of the police changed their tune, turned around, and went with the people. And they're trying to say, it's because of this, that, and the other, but it's not. These guys are coming out and saying it was because of all the mandates and stuff like that. People just don't want this. You look at what's happening up in Canada. I mean, they're blocking the bridge, they're shutting everything down. And you got this little wimp Trudeau, he's still touting the same old crap. He's still touting this stuff. So They're in the bag for this, and then you look at the French president and all the crap he's doing too. But we don't have a good playing field when it comes to the news media. They had this Harvard professor gets out there, and these are Marxist guys. Gets out there and says, yeah, get over there and slash the tires. Well, first of all, shouldn't be a Harvard professor, because you want to slash the tires of a truck on a bridge, that's really going to make it hard to move. I mean, what a moron. But he gets to say that, and he doesn't get taken down. Somebody, if us guys would say something like that, we're down immediately. So, I don't know. Just crazy. But we got some Biden news. They got this Smartmatic voting machine. He's trying to get his Obama-appointed judge to, we know that the fix is in on that, to not allow the information to get out about the voting thing. So probably won't. They got a lot of their people in the bag on this stuff. And they got to cover that up. They have to, as long as they can, I guess. And then the other thing they're not wanting to show, and they're trying to quench, is the 6th, where they killed that lady, where the cop beat her with a stick, and then she wound up croaking. So they're covering it up. News is starting to filter out a little bit about it, but I just don't get it. I just don't get these people. But now also in Australia, I saw a report, and anybody down in Australia that knows anything about this, but they said that the vehicles coming in, there was 1.5 million vehicles headed up towards Canberra, and they say, conservatively estimate and say there's 2 people per vehicle. That's like 3 million people going. And I did see some drone flights of, it looked like to me hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. And now we hear they're turning the sprinklers on to make the grass wet and muddy, just crazy stuff. I think a lot of these governments, to stop all this, they're really going to throw the screws to people. They're really going to start the trouble. So, they have to. I mean, they're towing the same line, and they're not going to change their minds. They're going to keep this same thing up, and people are fed up with it. Holy cow, the Canadians are fed up with it. Canadians, anybody knows, you talk about nicest country in the world. So, man, it's just really something. But here's the thing about up in Canada with this Trudeau. If he does a lockdown on you, okay, that's good. He did it. It's good. But if the people do a shutdown, then it's bad. Morning. And then he talks about them breaking laws, and I mean, they're really coming out strong. And the other premier guy of the province up there, I don't know. To me, it seems like they're running scared with these threats. One of the big threats is you're going to lose your license. You're going to have a record. You could up to $100,000 fine. Year in jail. Blah blah blah. you know, because you're breaking laws. Excuse me. Man, I don't know. It just seems to me like, you know, I think he's just scared. Everybody already knew he was just a little stinking panty waste. You know, and most of these people, like Macron and all these people high up in these positions, there's something wrong with them. They're sickos. You look at what, like, our president in the States is doing with the military. He's putting all these girly men up in high positions, you know, and then he just appointed some guy. They got stuff on these different feeds. This guy's some kind of a strange, very, very strange fellow, and you know, this is for destruction. This is to destroy everything. You know, that's just all there is to that. So, you know, really, really scary. And then with this crap going on with Putin over there, Putin, I think, is going to be real smart. I think he's going to wait till Biden goes in there, brings a whole bunch of equipment and everything like that, and then he'll come in and scare them, and everybody will run away because Biden will tell them get out of there, and then he'll get all that equipment for free, just like the Taliban did. It'll be a payoff. That's kind of like what he's doing. They got a lot of business going on in there, in that country. He doesn't want to lose it, and I think that's what he's afraid of. Or also, it may be uncovered. You know, all this business dealings that he's got over there would be uncovered. So he's gotta do something, you know. But you watch him. See, here's what I'm thinking. You know, Obama said a long time ago he'd like to just sit back and run things and let somebody else be in the White House, and he'll sit in his jogging shorts and run the show. And I'm starting to think that's what's happening, because if you look at this bite hole, man, this guy, he can't put sentences together. He can't do anything. It's a royal shame. I actually think it's senior abuse what they're doing to this guy. You know, there's something bad wrong going on in that man. But scary. A lot of these folks, though, you know, with all the stuff that's going on, you know, you look at all these countries that went in lockstep against the people of the world. You know, that's exactly what happened. They all jumped on the same bandwagon. They all did the same thing. They did lockdowns. They did masks. They did quarantines. They blocked you up. They ruined your business. They did all this kind of stuff. Well, I'll be honest with you. Every one of those guys, like in the States, that did that kind of stuff, they need to be ousted. You know, and who got rich during all this time? They did. You know, it's just a wealth transfer again, and that's who's getting rich. So I don't get it. There's my baby. She was looking for me. Hi, precious.
I was hiding you.
I saw you going up the other way, and I was wondering where you were going.
And then I asked the girl over there.
Oh, okay. But we got I believe our neighbors across the way. I don't know if they're in yet, but I saw they're bringing some stuff yesterday, so we got the neighbors over there, new neighbors. That's going to be kind of cool. And we had that like yesterday. I did that thing about the restaurant, and something I'll tell you about the guys coming here. Somebody left a comment in there about they went to Outback, and it was also not so good. But something we found out, and you go to these little mom and pop Filipino restaurants. You know, there's only one of them, and it's usually the family all in there cooking and stuff. We went out there last time, and we had fantastic food. I mean, if you'd give it a rating, I'd say 4 out of 5 stars. That was a nice place to sit. You could look right in at the kitchen. It was pretty clean, and it was old mom and dad cooking. It looked like the kids and family was waiter and waitressing. They were right on the ball with everything, and I'm telling you the truth. It was pretty good. The only thing that was bad was the beer wasn't cold. I wound up getting the beer over there. I didn't get another because it wasn't cold. So, you know, that seems to be kind of like a normal thing, because Filipinos will put ice in their beer. You know, and watch that, guys. If you go to a place and the beer is warm and you want to put ice in there, you got to be real careful of the ice if you're a foreigner like me, because I got bit by that already with an amoeba. So you just got to be careful. But that's what pretty much we're going to do. You know, it was like us with the Army Navy. We used to go up when we were going through the court system here, and we had to go up to Imus, and it's spelled with an I, like Imus in the morning, but it's Imus. And they had one up there. I think it was one of the first ones, and that was mostly the same people. And we did it we went up there every time we went up, every month or so. I'd always get something to eat and something different. One time tacos, whatever. But the food was always really good. Well, now down here in Lipa City, man, I won't go near the place. I mean, everything you get is all soggy and nasty. And when you go through, we go right past it regular. It's different people in there. It's not the same people. So they don't have the training, I guess. And, it's definitely a place we just don't go back. I have to say, I got a breakfast burrito that was pretty good. One morning I was waiting for the Yamaha shop, which is right up the street. They were doing some stuff, and I thought, okay, I'll run over there. And I didn't want to get the Starving Sailor or anything because I had gotten such a bad one. But they were making boatloads of these breakfast burritos, and they were delivering them. So I thought, okay, people here really like them. The dude on this little motorbike, I mean, they had a whole bunch of them in there that he was delivering, so I'll get one of those. And it was really good, guys. It was, everything on it was cooked right. So that was one. I think it was the morning crew, and but after that, we won't go there anymore. I won't buy anything there anymore. There's a lot of restaurants now. We have a rib place we go to. We knew the guy over by San Pedro Montelupa, Dexter, and fantastic place, super good place. And now he franchised, and he makes the meat and does everything, and he brings it here weekly. And that place is really good. Now that one too, though, we got we got the corn, which they have this fantastic sweet corn. I don't know where they get it, but it's really good. And we've got that where it was ice cold too. So that's just it's something you're just going to run into here in the Philippines, of getting cold food. Even when I was in the States, and you go to a Filipino party, it's they'll cook all the stuff like that and then put it on the table, and then people eat hours later, and there's no warmers or anything like that. One time there was a fellow that he was supposed to be some kind of a big time chef, and he was a pretty old fella, and I was talking to him. His English was good. He seemed like a really nice guy, but he was cooking this he's going to cook this big fish, and that was his specialty, to make this fish. And it looked like a big orange roughy, something like that, and beautiful fish. And I was looking at it thinking, man, that's really cool. He must have cut the backside open to get the guts out, because there was no cuts on the belly, and the thing was cooked. Well, he went up there and had to, I think it was his daughter, she sliced the thing like you would a steak or something, and she's cutting along this fish like this, and there was no opening in the back. He cooked it with the guts in, and I said, hey, man, you don't take the guts out? And he says, no, it adds flavor. And I'm like, man, I sure as heck wouldn't want poop to be the flavoring for a food. By the way, I didn't eat any. I didn't even want to eat the tail end or the head end or nothing like that. I just thought that was very odd. I don't think they do that on a lot of places. My wife cooks a lot of fish on a regular basis. She cleans them out really good. That's one thing around here, the fish markets. You can get fish pretty cheap here. I don't like a lot of the fish because of all the bones. I didn't grow up with it. When I was a kid, we ate bluegills, and there's a way when you fillet the bluegill, you don't even got to gut them. You just run your knife on the inside, and then scrape it again to get the skin off, and then you throw that in a cast iron skillet with butter, and it's a poor man's lobster. Our tank's empty again, by the way. So much for them taking care of business. But that's what I grew up with. I didn't grow up with bones. I mean, just some of these fish, it's just ridiculous how many bones are in them. Now I do like they have these salty fish that she gets. There's different names for them. I forget the names. I have nothing to associate the name with, so it goes out of my mind a little quickly. But down when we go to Padre Garcia, there's a lady that just sells them, She's a little bit more expensive than what they cost when we were in GMA, but it's just the way it is. Maybe it's more there too. Usually when we go back to GMA, we try to get as much as we can from our regular lady. And I even go to the fruit lady down there. For some reason, when we go to San Jose, they get a better quality fruit, much better. Here it seems like sometimes the apples are old already. You get the apples down in San Jose, you bite into them, 5 minutes later it's still not turning, it's not oxidizing yet. These ones, you take a bite, they're oxidizing right away. It's like it's old stock. And even the mangoes we buy, we got to eat them up right away, because if not, they start getting these big black spots on them. So I don't know what the deal is. Now our fruit lady, when we were up in GMA and then even Carmona, we bought our fruit all the time from that lady, and we got a good bit. But here it's just not the quality's not there. It's just like it old stuff. So you got to be careful of that. And when you find a good vendor, we stick with them. I would like to start going inside the market more to get stuff, but the only way we can do the market down here, there's no place to park. They got signs up all over now. You can't park. You can't even stop anymore. Yesterday the traffic cops were there, and we're on the main drag, and they got cars parked on both sides, so the traffic is just incredibly impeded. You get a truck come by, you got to pull out of the way so he can get through. You can't get past him, and the traffic cops don't do anything. But over at the market where you need to park, you're not allowed to park. It just seems a little bit odd to me. You think they'd be out on the main road. But the market over there, they got pretty much anything you could want. My wife was over there. That's where she got our tarp for our covering, and which is really nice. We definitely needed that. Just keeping everything dry in the rains. There's a low pressure, but it's warm today. Even though we got a lot of clouds, it's still a pretty nice day. We've been monitoring the temperature from here to Manila. I have it right on my phone, and every single day it's 10-11 degrees cooler here. So this is something else. Now Tagaytay is even cooler than that. That's always been a cool place. We just came through there recently, and if you crack the windows and all that, it's almost like having air conditioning. It was not hot over there because you got beautiful mountains. Now they've been showing stuff with the Taal volcano. It's spewing a little bit of stuff. I don't know how much we got to worry about that, but we'll see. Last time when we were in Carmona, we got covered in ash. We got close to an inch of ash dumped. And here, this place, when we came down after the volcano, we came here, there wasn't even any dust on anything. We went up on the roof of the house behind us, and there was nothing. They didn't clean that off. This place, it kind of went around here because of the way these mountains are. And if you look, like when we were over at Weston Amy's yesterday, there's even a mountain, over that way from their place. And of course, they're right by the airport. But it seems like this place, stuff goes around it, the way the wind is. I was telling you about the planes. We saw the guy that has the plane, little tricycle landing gear, wing on top. We saw that plane. I think it must be a school, because they were doing a lot of, just driving around. They were coming over the house real low. They were practicing climbs and stuff, and so I think that must be a school, because they have two planes that are identical. And how many times you see that? I've been to little airports all over the U.S., and I've never seen, where, unless it's a school, and they said, okay, we need two planes, and they ordered two planes. So that could be it. But it was kind of interesting. We got to see. I wished I had the camera out in time. Good morning. But that's one thing I don't do. I don't usually bring the phone. If I go somewhere, I don't bring the phone. I just bring my little dumb phone, my little 2G, $8 phone. That's the one I bring. And I just don't bring the smartphones around. First off, I don't want to break them, and I don't like the tracking that they do with them or anything like that. But there is something funny about the phone too. I want to tell you before I let you go. On my old Samsung, when I would go to do my KineMaster, it did all kinds of weird stuff. Like if I went to the end of the video and put the pictures back there, it would put them at the front, and I'd have to drag them all the way to the back. if I went to load a video, I would have to shut off the Wi-Fi or get away from the Wi-Fi because it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't load. It wouldn't allow the camera to be the Wi-Fi. And so it was pretty frustrating. I even showed it to Tim when he was there, and it did a lot of stupid stuff that just was aggravating. It made doing things really hard. And then when Wes gave me the note, it doesn't do any of that stuff. None of it. You know, you put the stuff where it is, and it goes where you put it. And no troubles. I don't have to turn the Wi-Fi off. All I have to do is, boom, go that I'm going to load a video. I go to the KineMaster, or I go to my Sony one that puts it onto the phone, and it goes. And the other thing is, it's quicker. I did a thing the other day just to see, and I did the one video, and I loaded it to with the new phone from Wes, and it took 5 minutes and 16 seconds from the time I started loading the video until it was up, when it said, you know, it's up. So then I took that same video immediately and went to go put it on Al Gore Beaks. 25 minutes. So it's something up with that phone, something up with that phone that I had bought that just it wasn't good. I don't know what's up with that. So I think it's just part of the deal with the tier 3 and 4 products that you get here. Now Wes, when he got it, he said he got his in Japan. You know, so they're going to be getting the quality stuff. They're not going to be getting the dregs. But I think I've always said this here in the Philippines. They don't get the best stuff when it comes to imports, like all the stuff from China and everything. So it's a bummer. It's kind of a bummer. But I think that happens because Filipinos will just say, oh, okay. You know, they definitely don't really complain. And they just sort of, okay, that's the way it is. This is the way we're going to take it. You know, it's just like after they have a big typhoon or hurricane. It's unbelievable. People are out fixing things up, smiling. You know, it's tough. It's really something. But I did see a thing though when they had that big thing over in Japan and all the trouble, and the people were so well disciplined and all that. But when they had the big typhoon and water surge in Tacloban and everything, they showed a woman at her store, and the people were just looting it right in front of her, and you know, calling TVs away and all that kind of stuff. And that's kind of, you know, that's not good. You know, I always said you can't eat a TV. So I mean, if you're going to loot something, go loot some food, because I know they had a lot of trouble, you know, back then. I don't know, anybody down there from Tacloban? I always loved that place. How is it since that? You know, I remember having pictures. I don't have them now, but I had pictures of me standing by the MacArthur statue. They're real big too, guys. They're not just some little statue. They're way up over my head. But I haven't really heard too much. I know that they got a little bit of the storm on this last one that went through, but I think what really got them the last time was the storm surge. So, but I'm going to go ahead and let you go. It's rolling on kind of long, and watch the news, guys. I'd love to hear any up-to-date stuff on the truckers in Canada, and hopefully those guys make out very well. Somebody left a comment. Now, I don't know what happened. If you're going to leave a comment for me, you just leave the comment. But if somebody makes a comment on one of my comments or anything like that, then you have to click on that. So then it'll put their name up first, because somebody left a comment like, you know, you know, I must be this rotten person or something. And I'm not sure who that was meant for. Was it for Bunny or was it for me? I don't know. You know, I did say I wish the truckers well against the JBTs, and what those are, what JBTs is not Justin Trudeau. It's, you know, well, same thing, but Jackbooted Thugs is what that abbreviation is. But don't know. But it's definitely not going here today, huh? There's only 2 houses getting worked on today, and it's a very small crew. Sunday, a lot of guys went home. So it's nice and quiet here today. There's a little bit of banging on that roof, but not compared to you know, Monday through Saturday. So gonna let you go. What are you gonna say, sweetheart?
Don't forget to pray for Charlie. This is Rick Shout. Bye bye.